Last week, a little-known Chinese tech company called DeepSeek dropped a bombshell on the AI world. Their new AI model, R1, delivered a shockwave by outperforming some of the biggest names in the industry. OpenAI's 200 per month ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, and Anthropic's Claude. It excelled in areas like logic puzzles, advanced math, and coding challenges, domains usually dominated by big tech. And here's the kicker. R1 is free, open source, and available to everyone. Imagine that, a no-cost tool humbling the most expensive AI models on the market. But the story gets even more interesting when you look at how R1 was built. Unlike the billion-dollar budgets fueling models like GPT-4, R1 wasn't even a flagship project. DeepSeek developed it as a side project with a modest budget of under $10 million. To put that in perspective, Google spends about $50 million a day on AI research. This isn't just an underdog story, it's a full-scale rebellion against big tech's philosophy of throw money at the problem to dominate the market. What's more, the project was funded by a hedge fund that claimed its goal was social good rather than profit. If that's true, it signals a massive shift. AI might no longer be monopolized by a handful of corporate giants. The impact is seismic, particularly for companies like Nvidia, which has thrived on the AI hardware boom. For years, training a state-of-the-art AI model required thousands of expensive GPUs, forcing startups to bleed money just to stay in the game. DeepSeek flipped the script by fitting R1, a 680 billion parameter behemoth, that's 200 billion more parameters than GPT-4, onto consumer-grade Apple M2 Ultra chips. This is the kind of hardware that YouTubers use to edit videos, not train cutting-edge AI models. Suddenly, the need for massive, costly supercomputers is gone. The fallout has been brutal. Nvidia's stock took a $300 billion hit almost overnight, with investors realizing the AI hardware gold rush might be nearing its end. Meanwhile, OpenAI is scrambling to stay relevant, releasing free O1 mini models and a new operator feature that lets ChatGPT browse the web. But let's be honest, these moves look like desperate attempts to regain ground. Meanwhile, DeepSeek is charging forward with innovations like Hanyuan 3D, a tool that generates photorealistic 3D models and textures in seconds. This capability, which could take Hollywood studios weeks, is now accessible to indie developers on a laptop. It's not just disruptive, it's revolutionary. However, not everything about DeepSeek is a fairy tale. Their privacy policy raises serious red flags. DeepSeek collects IP addresses, keystrokes, device information, and more, and stores it all on servers in China. Under Chinese law, the government can access this data at any time without explanation. Imagine typing sensitive information, like your startup's next big idea or personal health symptoms, into R1, only to have that data potentially accessible to authorities. It's a privacy nightmare, and it highlights a major trade-off. Does democratizing AI mean sacrificing security? This isn't just a China-specific issue either. Western AI companies also hoard user data, but at least in the US. And Europe, there are some, albeit flawed, laws to offer protection. With R1's open source code, anyone could potentially modify it to harvest data without oversight. We're entering a Wild West era of AI, one where innovation comes without accountability. In many ways, this moment feels like the AI equivalent of the 1957 Sputnik launch, when the USSR's satellites shocked the US and kickstarted the space race. China's R1 model shows you don't need Silicon Valley's billions to lead in AI. Reddit users claim to have fine-tuned R1 on a $2,000 laptop to diagnose rare diseases. Others are building 3D game prototypes in hours using Hanyuan 3D. This isn't just about tech. It's about shifting power from boardrooms to bedrooms. So, what's next? Will this spark an AI arms race between open source platforms and corporate giants? Could it lead to innovations like brain implants, nanobots, or quantum computers solving impossible problems in seconds? The AI hype isn't fading. It's evolving into something unpredictable. One thing's certain, AI is no longer the exclusive playground of tech elites. DeepSeek R1 has cracked the code for democratizing powerful, affordable AI. But whether this leads to a utopia of innovation or a dystopia of surveillance will depend on us. Will we push for transparency and ethical safeguards? Or let the race for dominance spiral out of control? The future is unwritten, and for the first time, we all hold the pen.